新しいのみを使う前に、まずはkatsura-otoshiをしなきゃいけないです。That's right. Before you use a Japanese chisel, you have to prepare the handle. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So if you've never studied about Japanese tools or lived in Japan, you may think that if you buy a Japanese chisel, you can just bring it home and start wailing away. But that's not the case. You have to prepare the handle first. The top ring here is called the katsura. And you may think that this is the part that you hit, but that is not the case. This is only to keep the handle from splitting. The part of the handle that you do strike is the top of the wood. But if you look at this closely, when you first purchase a chisel, you can't hit that wood without hitting the ring. So you have to lower this ring, the katsura, so that there's a little bit of wood sticking out the top. And there's a special way to do that. Now the first thing you have to do is take this ring, take your finger, run it along the inside, and feel if there's a burr. If there's a slight burr, you have to take that off with a file. So let's do that first. So you just want to take the katsura, take a round file, and then stroke it in to remove that burr around the inside of the katsura. The second thing you have to do is, if you take the katsura off and you look at the handle of the chisel, let's get that into focus here, you'll see that there is a step. You can see the ring in the wood that's been made by the katsura, okay? We have to eliminate that step. So you're going to need a small little anvil or something very hard and a hammer. And I'll show you how to do that. So you want to take the handle of the chisel, place it on the anvil, and then you want to strike it firm but fairly light. You don't want to crack the handle, so don't hit it that hard. But you want to strike it lightly so that you take out this indentation. This is called kigoroshi, and it's actually the same technique that's used when joining pieces of wood in Japan. They do this, kigoroshi, around the outside of the mortise, and then they fit the tenon in, and the wood, when it bounces back, alleviates all of the gap in between the mortise and the tenon. So now that we've finished the kigoroshi, you want to take a look at the katsura, the ring, and you want to look close to see which side is thicker in terms of the metal. If you look at that compared to that, you'll see that this side is thinner. The thin side goes down. So when you place it on, the thin side is going to go down, so when you place it on the chisel, you'll be able to see that now a little bit of wood will be sticking up above the katsura. That's called the egashira. E means handle, kashira means head. So basically the head of the handle. But that is still not sufficient for use. What we want to do next is take a Japanese nail remover. This is called a genno. And I'm not sure if you can buy these anywhere outside of Japan. Maybe now you can, but if you can't, you want to basically just get an angle iron, something like a square. You don't want to use a square because that's obviously too thin, but you want something this shape, like an angle iron, so that when you put this over, because now we're going to seat the katsura, you want to be able to get both sides of the katsura without touching the wood. So you want to get a scrap piece of wood, take the chisel, and you want to put it perpendicular to the grain. Don't put it along the grain because you're going to split the wood. You want to have it perpendicular so that the wood stops the chisel. Then you want to have your katsura on the top of the chisel. Take your genno or your angle iron, whichever you have, place that on top like that, and then take a hammer or a mallet and strike it. And as we can see, the wood for the handle is now above the katsura. Now the last step in the process is to perform kigoroshi once again and to push or smoosh this wood out, kind of like in a mushroom shape, so that it covers the top of the katsura. So again, you want to place the chisel on your piece of wood, then you want to take your hammer and you want to go around the outside rim of this wood and smush it down so that it looks like a mushroom covering the top of the katsura. So now that you've finished that, the top of your chisel should look approximately like this, with the wood mushroomed out so it covers the top of the katsura very slightly. And that's the part that you strike, not the metal part. So that's how you prepare a Japanese chisel for use. After you've done that, you're good to go. I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.